Thank you for joining us here on Joy News Prime for the Sports Bulletin. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and we go straight into our main story for the evening. Well, in the last few hours, the news that broke was that Nigerian FA president, who's also first vice president of the Confederation of African Football, has been removed. Now, here with me in studio is the host of the football show here on this channel from 10:30 p.m. every weekday to do some more discussions about it. Hans Mensah-Ando joined me here in studio. Hans, thank you very much. Very, very interesting circumstances in, the administrative corridors of CAF. Now, yesterday, key decisions were taken. Fatima Samura, the General Secretary of FIFA, now taking over as the commissioner in charge of Africa for CAF. Now, many people have spoken about this decision and how it looks like there is no leadership structure in CAF anymore, and these decisions were hastily taken.
Well, I mean, if you've been following events, it shouldn't really surprise you as to how we've arrived at this point. CAF has been riddled with issues of corruption, since Ahmad took over. And the final move or development that caught everybody off guard was CAF essentially surrounding its authority to the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, subsequently also appointed Fatima Samura as commissioner, who is in charge of CAF, but we understand is not responsible for the day-to-day running of the Confederation of African Football. Rather, she's supposed to lead reforms that will bring
that begs the question, Hans. That begs the question: don't we have the people that can help us to internally sort all of this out?
We should. But if you're familiar with the administration of football on the continent and globally, power seems to be a bit centralized because of the politics around it. Usually, the person at the top has a loyalty of those around him. That is what usually happens. But the anomaly under these circumstances is that we had Kwesi Nyantakyi, who was the first vice president of the Confederation of African Football, being removed as a result of the number 12 documentary, and then Amaju Pinnick taking over Nyantakyi's position. And right, at that moment, he begins to bump heads with Ahmad on key issues. And so there appear to be a lack of cohesion, if you like, between Ahmad and who is supposed to be his right-hand man in Amaju Pinnick. And it was a chaotic situation, if you like, and FIFA had to step in, at least according to what they are telling us. It's taken us by surprise because, yes, you expect that there will be internal structures that addresses these issues. But for FIFA to take over the running of the Confederation of African Football, that is really surprising. We know FIFA taking over the Football Association of countries, but for FIFA to run a whole continental body, that is something that we've never really heard of. So a bit surprising. You'd expect that the internal structures of CAF would have resolved whatever issues that they have at this moment. But what we have essentially, and people are really throwing up all sort of conspiracy theories, are saying, well, maybe FIFA had some debt on Ahmad. You know that there is an investigation currently ongoing at FIFA that has to do with Ahmad in relation to his recent arrest in France that also had him being questioned. And so for a lot of people, they feel that Ahmad probably has cut a deal with FIFA that sees him retain his position as in the portfolio, but not holding on to the authority as CAF, president.
Clearly, there is a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks and in the coming months in CAF.
Absolutely. Again, there is also talk of Fatima Samura being gradually eased into the position of CAF, president.
That won't be that easy, wouldn't be? Would it?
It wouldn't be, but given where she finds herself at the moment, she has the time and leverage to start
courting,
exactly getting support and cementing a position if indeed she's going to be contesting in the near future. It's also interesting, because what happens then to Ahmad? Is he going to finally step aside? Who else is going to be contesting if in future we find out that Fatima Samura is going to be contesting as CAF president? Amaju Pinnick, maybe that would certainly be very, very interesting. where would the loyalties be? Will it be with a woman who has suddenly come in and taken over the Confederation of African Football, or a man who has been in football administration, on the continent for a very long time in Amaju.
Those are discussions which surely will continue, and I'm sure that there is a lot more to come this evening on the football show. So catch hands later on this evening on the football show. It's at 10:30 p.m. right here on this channel for more on this subject of the development, that is the recent developments in the administrative corridors of CAF. Let's now come back home and talk about the Normalization Committee, who have been described as an irregularity in their dealings. This is according to former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Afriyie Ankrah. He spoke earlier today on Upfront.
Have they normalized? I think that when there's a crisis or a challenge, you bring in an interim body.
Yeah.
The interim body comes in to put things together. They should quickly hand over to the football people, irrespective of the issues that they had. I mean, you want football to develop in a sustainable manner. You call this a normalization committee that was supposed to come in for a short period of time. And now they are almost becoming permanent. So they must speed up the processes of, the name means that they should come and normalize. There was an irregularity.
Yeah.
So come in and normalize. If you do not, you yourself become an irregularity. You see?
Have they become an irregularity?
They almost become an irregularity. They should just hurry up and allow the people, the stakeholders to take over. As simple as that.
Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is the final of the Africa Cup of Nations. There's more in terms of the coverage. We'll be seeking people's views as well. You keep it here. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.